Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Dual Destinies. Previously, we got LaBelle on the bench at last, and we caught him in a really obvious lie. And now he's trying that time-old strategy of taking a small hit in order to get away with the big score. He's now openly admitting that he was the third person in the Fox chamber, but... well, we've yet to hear his full testimony, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna try his best to get out of this. So it's our job to bring him to justice. And to that end, let's begin. I did enter the Fox chamber after the murder, but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. So you see, I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen. From behind the screen? Why, yes, I believe you wouldn't be spotted if you were there. Just so. He could see everything without being spotted by the victim or that Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say, he was a mere witness to the events, rather than an actual third party. This guy's as slippery as an eel. Hasn't he said that before? Apollo, you think he's telling the truth? Well, he was in the Fox chamber, so at least that much must be true. The defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness. With pleasure. Let's take this bit by bit, shall we? I did enter the Fox chamber after the murder.
Hold it!
Why in the world would you enter that grisly crime scene? Why? Because I was worried sick. Mayor Tenma's suit, It what? It was designed personally by me. I was worried my work of art might get blood on it. This man clearly has his priorities in order. Okay, let's get this over with, shall we? Now, where was I? Oh, yes. So I entered the Fox chamber almost without thinking. But I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left.
Hold it!
Why didn't you enter right away? And ruin my designer shoes. Your shoes? Even now, just thinking about getting blood on my fabulous footwear, it sends chills down my spine. That's why I hesitated.
Objection!
That's terrible. A man was dying and another injured, and you're worried about your shoes?
Silence!
Need I remind you, this is a court of law. We are not teaching morality here. Huh? We have schools of etiquette and the like for such trivial pursuits. But... you would... oh, whatever. Oh. Now you listen to me, you deceptive dandy. Get to the point and be quick about it. Yes, well, I was there in the Fox chamber, but... I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there.
Hold it!
Wait a second. Why did you hide yourself? Oh my, so you do understand. I do? By hiding, I was concealing my fabulous beauty, which, for the sake of the universe, is something I should never ever do. That's what you were thinking, right? I'm sensing a black hole of egocentricity forming around the witness stand. We can deliberate his mental process another time. Get on with the testimony, now. Well, regarding the murder scene, What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying.
Hold it!
Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail? And what exactly would you like details about? Well, what I'd like to ask you about is... Well... You know what? The Forbidden Chamber is something that's good to ask about. Clearly it closed and locked itself once more. But the story fabricated thus far is that, well, not really fabricated. I guess the story as we understand it thus far is that apparently Tenma opened the Fox Chamber, or Forbidden Chamber, and Filch was in there and ran out, but we don't know if it was ever closed. So let's ask him about that. Could you please describe the Forbidden Chamber at the time? It was shut tight until the mayor opened it. He's really trying to stress that it was the mayor who opened the Forbidden Chamber. Ugh, that big liar! He opened it himself! Whoa, if looks could kill, LaBelle would be toast. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider his statement to be of any importance? Is it important? Well, we know that Filch wasn't lying. We got the truth from him. He was in the Forbidden Chamber. But he didn't see who opened it. He didn't see who opened it. He was blinded by the light, wasn't he? Now, if I say it's important, it's going to be added to the testimony, I think. So what evidence would I have to show that... You know, we could backtrack and ask him about the murder weapon. If, I don't think we've ever used the autopsy report for Alderman QB yet. Maybe we could get him to say a different murder weapon did it and then point it out, no, it was a spear. But I don't know where that would even go. I'm gonna go with not important. Let's try the weapon. It's probably not particularly important. No, Your Honor. The witness may proceed. All right, then. I would just like to add that it was a terribly grisly scene, as I have described. We'll come back to that. To the previous statement, this one. Yeah. So you see, I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen.
Hold it!
The mayor had been knocked out by a blow to the head. Could he really have opened the Forbidden Chamber in that state? Well, it did seem difficult. He was all woozy and stumbling around as he opened it. It was such a heroic effort that I nearly started to cheer him on despite myself. I think the mayor needed medical attention more than a cheerleader. You think he's telling the truth about being there in that room? Well, I believe he was there. The question is, when did he enter? You mean, did he enter after Jinxie fled? Or was he there before the murder? If it's the latter, that would change everything. Right. If he was there before the murder, that would make him a suspect. But how do we go about proving that? Well, I guess we ask him about what happened there. Anyway, let's press him and see what kind of info we can extract from him. Let's cross our fingers that he says or reveals something incriminating. Okay, let's try this again. I'll skip forward. Tell us what you think of the murder weapon. Could you describe the state of the weapons that had been used at the scene? The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Cuby. No? I don't think so. That looks partial. Then there was that statue the Alderman used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. That incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor. Oh, right, the statue. But why would he find it inspiring? Why exactly did you find the statue inspiring? Oh, well, when I saw that statue, I felt as if the merger had been realized. It was like a celebration of union between town and village, an inspiring symbol of goodwill. Oh yeah, he's talking way too much about this. I think we got him here. A broken statue next to a bloody corpse? Real inspiring. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider his statement to be of any importance? Is it important? I think it's very important. I believe that to be extremely important. I request that it be added to the testimony. A statue had fallen to the floor. It was a token of goodwill celebrating the municipal merger.
Hold it!
A token of goodwill. Are you referring to the fox and demon statue? Yes, the statue the alderman allegedly used to strike back at Mayor Tenma. The mayor trampled down municipal goodwill only to be clobbered by its symbol. It's quite ironic, don't you think? And that's when that symbol of goodwill was transformed into a symbol of conflict. Yeah, by the time you say you entered, it should have been broken, and the crucial arms and cup hidden under the table. Out of view. So how did you know? It was wrapped up in a package. Yeah, Jinxie is now the only one who knows what the original looks like.
Objection!
Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle. What possibly could you mean? You said the statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct? It is indeed, but what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill, as if they were celebrating the municipal merger. Something the matter? So, how did you really know that this statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again? What? Justice Dono, explain yourself, and make it quick. The statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret. A secret? Whatever do you mean? What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma on the head. What's left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out. The statue's secret and its true form were lost inside that locked room. For Miss Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. LaBelle, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form? What do you mean, where? The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form. Right there in the room where the alderman was murdered before it was broken. How dare you? Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime? Yes. Yes, I am. Florent LaBelle, I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Cuby. No! Here we go. This is where things get spicy. Order. Order. Mr. LaBelle, you've been accused of murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Oh, How could you possibly accuse me, the embodiment of beauty? Way to go, Apollo. This is the conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico. We've got you now. We know you killed the alderman. Now admit it. Oh.
Silence.
Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock could not possibly be the killer.
Objection!
What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence.
Why could he have not seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo... Yes, that's right. I clearly remember it now. Alderman Cupid told me about it. About what the statue actually looked like. I mean, he was a good friend of mine. Oh.
Objection!
Yeah, right. He wouldn't show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence.
Moreover, it has already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime. It has? Forgotten, have we? Recall the little scamp's statement, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapsed therein, and no one else. Oh, dang it. The fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Thus, Florent LaBelle could not possibly have been in that locked room. No! Ah! Well, what if he was hiding behind the screen? Oh, no. I just don't get it. How could Jinxie not have seen LaBelle? I don't know. The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, your baldness?
It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and victim being the only people in that locked room. Moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Objection! Silence.
You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in the charade is over, Justice Dono. But... Your baldness. This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It is high time you brought down the hammer of justice.
A point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. This court finds a defendant, Damien Tenma.
Oh, thank God. Oh.
Caw, 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 caw. It would seem that my time is at hand.
Mayor Tenma?
Counselor, there is a matter to which I must testify. I recall it now only for your good graces.
Counselor? Oh, right, he must mean me. Has he finally remembered what happened before that blow to his head? Bailiff, don't just stand there, seize him. It's no good, I can't restrain him. But, okay, that's so ridiculous with no one inside around him.
Caw, 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 caw. Know me and despair. For I am Tenma Taro, Demon Lord of the Yokai. Mr. Justice, do something.
Since when am I responsible for court security? Apollo, this is our chance. We might get some new information out of him. Your Honor, seeing as our client has something new to say, I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai.
When you put it that way. Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world.
Unprecedented in absurdity, more like.
All right then, Mr. Damien Tenma, or should I say Mr. Tenma Taro. Your testimony, please. I shall now speak of recollections most real, courtesy of my host Damien Tenma. Heed these words, mortals, for hear them but once you shall. Caw, 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 caw.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Barely conscious was Damien there amid the darkness. Suddenly 2 yokai did appear. On one side I, Tenma Taro, ruler of demonkind. And on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox.
Okay, we're finally bringing in the mask, aren't we?
So is the defendant asserting that the room was very dark at the time? Strange as it may be, yes indeed, all was in darkness.
And the part about Tenma Taro and the nine-tailed fox being there?
Yes, that too. Tenma Taro towered overhead and the nine-tailed fox glittered gold.
Oh. I call animal abuse, Your Honor. It would seem the defendant's recollections are not to be trusted.
Yes, well, truth be told, my host's recollections are still a bit fuzzy. As if half-dreamt, that happening lingers in his mind.
Apollo, maybe I can help here. Really? Oh, you mean... Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart. I sense an unusual emotion in the mayor's memory of the event. Okay. I just hope our findings don't come back to haunt us again. Well, here we go. Oh god, no, the beeping! No, wait! Hold on! Oh, brother. Okay. Barely conscious was Damien there amid the darkness. A minor upset, okay. Suddenly 2 yokai did appear. Yeah, that's sensible. I'd be very surprised by such a happening. On one side, I, Tenma Taro, ruler of demonkind. Why would you be surprised if it's yourself? And on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox. Okay, why would you be happy to see your mortal enemy?
Got it!
When the nine-tailed fox appeared, you not only experienced shock and sadness, but also something like joy as well.
Joy? Perhaps it was joy at the light coming to my eyes at long last. A long and terrible creaking did pierce the silence. And then there was light. On reflection, it was a door that did produce that infernal racket.
A creaking door. Oh, you must be talking about the Forbidden Chamber door. It does make a lot of noise. So, this means the Forbidden Chamber really was opened. But what about the sudden light he described? Yeah, Filch talked about that too. I think I know. He mentioned darkness and Tenma Taro towering overhead. Maybe the mayor wasn't really in the Fox Chamber at the time of the crime. Oh. Yeah, the big statue would be towering overhead. Yeah, He was in the Forbidden Chamber, wasn't he? The light was coming from the Fox Chamber, not the Forbidden Chamber. Yeah. What the hell? Mr. Mayor, did the darkness that you were in happen to be here? It's gotta be this.
Take that!
The Forbidden Chamber? Was it not the Fox Chamber where the murder did occur?
Yes, but it all makes sense if you were in the Forbidden Chamber. That terrible creaking sound was probably the Forbidden Chamber's door opening. And the towering Tenmataro you saw, most likely the Forbidden Chamber's statue.
Why, yes, that would explain it. The darkness and the staff in the demon's grasp.
But even if all that's true, then what about the nine-tailed fox? Maybe he was seeing things, just like Jinxie and her imaginary yokai. Fantastico, Apollo! It's entirely possible. In a groggy, dreamlike state, people can misremember things and events.
Misremember, you say? Let me think. Oh, I do believe I remember now. That was not the nine-tailed fox. It was the Amazing Ninetails.
What? The Amazing Ninetails?
At first, this is but a dream, I thought. Now, however, most clearly do I recall it. 'Twas the Amazing Ninetails who did open the Forbidden Chamber's door.
Oh, there we go, 60%. Neat. I'm sorry I asked. The Amazing Ninetails? But that was the victim, Alderman Cuby, right? Yeah. Why would he open the Forbidden Chamber? Wasn't he trying to keep it sealed? Never mind that. This is completely new information. Let me enter it and run an update. Alright, barely conscious. Info update. Amid the darkness, a mighty statue of Tenmataro loomed overhead. Yeah, I'd be upset and surprised by that. Suddenly the door did open and a shaft of light did pierce the gloom. Yeah, light's happy. That's good. The Amazing Ninetails had come to the rescue. Alright, you're happy and surprised to be rescued. Why would you be sad at that, though?
Got it!
When the Amazing Ninetails opened the chamber, banishing the darkness within, you felt joy, but didn't you also feel shock and sadness?
Yes, in the hazy depths of my mind, I do recollect something of that nature. I believe it was the fiend's cape of red. For when I did behold it, a great wave of sadness did inexplicably wash over me.
20%, almost there. A cape of red? What could that be? He doesn't have a cape. Huh? A cape of red? I have no idea what that could even possibly be. Huh? Apollo, we've reduced the noise level. Oh, but there's still a little left. Mayor Tenma, why were you sad when you saw the red cape?
Why indeed.
What could this mean? I guess his memory is still a little spotty. I know because his latest recollection contradicts the evidence. Yeah, it's one of those contradictions that slaps you right across the face. Huh. Something this obvious could arise when someone is trying to force a fuzzy memory into definitive shape. Apollo, I know what you have to do. You need to present evidence that contradicts the image you see. Oh, So it's basically the same as the usual cross-examination process. Okay, time to review the evidence. Look out, contradiction, here comes justice. Okay. The Amazing Ninetales had come to the rescue. He doesn't wear a cape. He doesn't wear a cape. He has... Oh. Why would... I mean, he kind of does wear a cape sometimes, but it's nine tails. Fashioned to be look like that, so... Why would it be red in that instance?
Objection!
You said the Amazing Ninetales cape was red. Are you sure about that?
Yes, well, I do believe it was a red cape I saw, but...
Mayor Tenma, does this cape look red to you?
Oh, that certainly does not look red. Not even scarlet or crimson either.
How about maroon?
Nevertheless, upon my liberation, something red did fill my as yet hazy field of view. And I thought to myself, oh, the Amazing Ninetales is arrayed in a cape of red.
So you mistook that red something for his cape, huh?
Apparently so, and remembering it now brings a great sadness upon me.
So the red something probably wasn't a cape after all. Maybe that great sadness he mentioned is what's interfering with his memory. Well, you would have seen the fox chamber behind the Amazing Ninetales. What red object could he have seen there that would have been that shocking? Oh. I know. Could it have been... Mr. Mayor, was the red thing you saw this? That's a lot of blood.
Take that!
Something red that could produce a deep sadness. Could it be, Mr. Tenma, that what you saw was the alderman's blood?
Blood? Why, yes, it was blood. Urgh! Arg! It's all coming back to me now. It wasn't a red cape that I saw. It was, lying behind the Amazing Ninetales, the alderman's bloody body.
Eek! Oh. Bye-bye. Thanks, Widget. His noise level is down to 0. I think he's remembered everything now. Does this mean the Amazing Ninetales killed Alderman Cubie? But the Alderman was the Amazing Ninetales, so how exactly would that work? Hey, I asked you first.
Well, Mr. Justice, you sure know how to make a complicated matter even more complicated.
True, but at the time of the crime, our client was in the Forbidden Chamber. Moreover...
Silence!
Hoy, don't you think this strange? The little scamp has already confirmed her father to be in the Fox Chamber. But she said naught about seeing the amazing... Oh... Wait. Okay, it's clear at this point. It's really obvious that LaBelle was wearing the Ninetales mask. It's gotta be him. So... I almost want to say it was like he was wearing the mask And while the real Mr. Tenma was locked away in the chamber, he, faked... No, Jinxie would have said something if she ever thought her father was wearing the mask, so it can't be that. What? Oh, I'm so confused. But she said not about seeing the amazing Ninetales there. You just had to bring that up, didn't you? Jinxie didn't see LaBelle there either. It's so weird. Who really was in that room then?
Would the defense care to share any theories with the court? Can you explain the inconsistency between the defendant's testimony and his daughter's?
Yes, I can. Yes, of course. I can explain it. Because if I don't, we're in serious trouble. Not with more of your bluffs and fairy tales, I trust. Fair warning, Justice Dono. I shall have your head if you fail to explain this. Eep! What about a good old-fashioned penalty?
Well, Mr. Justice, let's see if you have a head worth keeping on your shoulders.
First of all, Mr. LaBelle was definitely in the Fox Chamber while it was locked. We also know that Mayor Tenma was in the Forbidden Chamber based on his testimony. These two facts are crucial to my explanation. So let us consider the following question. If the facts point to Florent LaBelle and the victim being there at the scene, why did Jinxie Tenma see the victim and her father, Mayor Tenma?
A very good question indeed, and I suppose you have an answer for us.
Sadly, you would be supposing wrong. You think she could have mistaken LaBelle for the mayor? Well, if she did, then the question is, why did she do that? Oh! I think, oh, right, I was like, how could she, okay, so, one part of the mystery of okay, so if LaBelle was wearing the fox mask, how could Jinxie possibly confuse him for her father? Maybe he used his special dye thing, hairspray dye, to change the color of his suit to be the aqua blue of the mayor? Oh, man. I don't know. This is weird.
Well, how about the explanation, Mr. Justice? I believe the time for questions is over. The defense asserts that Florent LaBelle was at the scene of the crime. However, Jinxie Tenma has testified that she saw her father collapsed there. If she has, in fact, misremembered the event, what could have made her do so?
LaBelle was disguised as Tenma. She got the rooms mixed up. I almost want to try that to just see the dialogue, but no. The figure Miss Tenma saw was not her father. It was Florent LaBelle disguised as Damien Tenma.
Silence!
That is a complete impossibility. Their faces are utterly unalike. How could you explain that away with a mere disguise?
Yes, they both do have incredibly distinctive faces.
Maybe this disguise completely hid his face? I think Jinxie would have mentioned if she couldn't see her father's face. Yeah, she would. And if it was that sort of disguise, wouldn't she have removed it? Oh, right. Your sword is as dull as your mind, Justice Dono. Shall I show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of? I think I'll pass. Yeah! Ah! Are you okay, Apollo? I can't help but notice that I haven't taken a penalty yet. Did I actually get the right thing? I'm not fine, am I? Well, now that we have that little fairy tale out of the way, your baldness, your verdict, if you will.
Mr. Justice, I believe it's time for a verdict. Do you have no further arguments?
What's even left for me to do? Apollo, remember what Mr. Wright always says. When you're stuck in a tight spot, turn the case upside down. Turn the case upside down? He does say that, doesn't he? But I don't quite see how it applies here. Still, never hurts to give it a try, I guess. Let's see. Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. Oh. Right. The mask is a wrestler's life. And rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe it was she couldn't talk about it. A wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He'd never unmask himself in front of others. But there are matches where wrestlers battle for the right to remove each other's masks. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself. And what about the fact that it was the amazing Ninetales who opened the door? A mask that can't be removed in front of others. Can these facts turn things around? Oh! We got it all backwards! Apollo? Wait, was Mr. Tenma the wrestler the entire time? Oh, it wasn't Rex? Really? I think we might have made a huge mistake. Your baldness, I see no need to further indulge them in their silly little farce. The defense has no proof, they never did and they never will.
Then it seems I must announce my verdict.
I do have proof. Do you now? Oh, his eyes glowed. That's edgy.
All right, this better be good, Mr. Justice.
We can solve the remaining riddles by turning all of our assumptions upside down. Why Jinxie Tenma mistook Mr. LaBelle for her father. Why she couldn't remove the costume or tell anyone about it in the first place. These riddles are inextricably linked to Mayor Tenma's secret identity. A shocking secret identity that will turn the entire premise of this case upside down. This piece of evidence clearly reveals Mayor Tenma's secret identity. Here we go.
Take that!
Ugh, what absolute claptrap. Poppycock, balderdash. He would say poppycock and balderdash. He would. We thought the alderman was the amazing Ninetales and the mayor was Tenma Taro. That's why we believe the mayor killed the alderman in his lust for Ninetales Vale. And it was the basis for the prosecution's entire case against our client. However, we got the whole thing backwards. Mayor Tenma wasn't Tenma Taro at all. He was the amazing Ninetales.
What's this?
You'd best explain yourself, Justice Dono, and from where you derived such a far-fetched conclusion. Jinxie, no doubt, knew the true identity of the amazing Ninetales, but she couldn't tell anyone no matter what. That's why she didn't say it was the amazing Ninetales she saw passed out. Even though, unbeknownst to her, it was really Florent LaBelle in disguise.
Silence!
The accused and that deceitful dandy are utterly dissimilar in physical build and voice. the little scamp would have seen the difference.
Objection!
Remember, Mr. LaBelle has his own very own brand of cosmetics. Why couldn't he fake a different build too? And anyone speaking through a mask would naturally sound different.
Silence!
Why did she not simply pull the mask off?
Objection!
A masked wrestler's disguise is more precious than life itself. As a huge fan of the Amazing Ninetales, she would never dare unmask him. Hoo-ha! This case of mistaken identity also explains the riddle of the locked room.
Then by all means, Mr. Justice, answer it for us already.
First, Mr. LaBelle entered the room where the mayor and alderman were talking. I suspect he brought with him coffee laced with some sort of sedative, once the alderman was out cold. That's when Mr. LaBelle killed him. Next, he took the mayor, who he had also drugged, into the Forbidden Chamber. Then he returned to the Fox Chamber, slipped into some of the mayor's spare clothes, and completed the disguise by donning the Amazing Ninetales mask. With this entire charade in place, Mr. LaBelle then let out a scream. The scream that led Jinxie Tenma to the scene. So then, the person who said, "I killed Alderman QB" was... Yep, that was Florent LaBelle in disguise. The mayor never actually confessed.
Silence!
This is no more than guesswork and speculation. Now stop your jabbering and...
Objection!
No, you twisted samurai. This time, you stop your jabbering and let me finish making my case. Ooh. This boy's got a spine. Ugh. Once Miss Tenma left the scene, Mr. LaBelle, still wearing the mayor's clothes and mask, opened the Forbidden Chamber so he could drag the mayor back out into the Fox Chamber. Oh, so the Amazing Ninetales the mayor saw was... Right, it was LaBelle opening the Forbidden Chamber. The second time Mr. LaBelle opened the door to the Forbidden Chamber, he happened to catch the thieving Mr. Filch by surprise. Startled, Mr. Filch in his Tenma-Taro disguise ran as fast as he could away from the room. As he did, he left behind him a trail of feathers and tracks, and gave Miss Tenma the scare of her life in the hallway. With no one left to witness the events that had occurred, Mr. LaBelle then proceeded to drag the sleeping mayor back into the Fox Chamber.
I see. Well, that all certainly does make sense.
Then, after dragging the mayor back into the Fox Chamber, Mr. LaBelle threw the mask out the window and fled the room.
Silence!
For this absurd theory to work, it requires that the defendant be the Amazing Ninetales. However, he was the one pushing for the municipal merger. That such an individual could possibly be the Amazing Ninetales is preposterous.
Objection!
The mayor was blackmailed into pursuing the merger. Miss Tenma's life would have been in danger if he had openly voiced his opposition. That's why he created the secret identity as the Amazing Ninetales. Yeah, this is madness. No one could possibly hatch such an insane plot. No one except a killer as insane as his plot, and I'd say Florent LaBelle more than qualifies.
Foolish mortal, it is at your own peril that you forget who I am.
Mayor Tenma, it's okay now. Jinxie will be safe just as soon as Mr. LaBelle is arrested. You are the Amazing Ninetales, aren't you? Jinxie? Oh. Back to being blonde, huh? You have quite the active imagination. Mayor Tenma is not the amazing Ninetales.
Objection!
What do you mean? Well, has the mayor admitted to it yet? But that's just... And even if he did admit to such nonsense, I would reveal the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now. What?
Why, you would dare reveal the secret?
Oh, my good friend, the alderman, told me all about it. But it wouldn't be good to expose the truth, what with the superstitions, now would it? The truth behind Tenma Taro? What's he talking about? So go ahead, say it. Say, I am the amazing Ninetales, I dare you.
Objection!
Wait, will somebody please explain what's going on here? Mayor Tenma will do anything to keep the truth behind Tenma Taro a secret. A dark, terrible truth that has been kept secret by the village superstitions. And if the mayor admits to being the amazing Ninetales, you'll expose the truth? Right. I won't have him walking free because of some nonsense you made up. So what now, Justice Dono? Without the mayor's admission, your theory is as useless as you are in battle. I'll show you who's useless. Apollo, don't you dare give up now. I know. Your Honor, I believe Mr. LaBelle's statements warrant a thorough cross-examination. After all, the true identity of the amazing Ninetales is the cornerstone of this case.
You do have a point there. Please answer this court, Mr. LaBelle. Is the defendant the amazing Ninetales or not?
All right. Knowing this formula, there's probably like 2 more cross-examinations and a big ol' wrap-up, so... Yeah, I guess I was totally correct in the previous video. We weren't able to wrap this up today. No, we'll do that next time. Hopefully it ends up pretty cleanly. It would be nice to have a 1-hour-long video. I don't want to start a whole new case halfway through a video, but... we'll go with where the dice fall, I suppose. So... yeah, wow. I was already enjoying this case a lot, but... this reveal just blindsided me, and wow. I really was, caught up. Boy, they made it as quote-unquote obvious as possible that the man named QB, who looked like a fox, and was not actually... wow. Like, damn, you look at his profile, right? He looks like he'd be him, but no. Huh. I never would have seen it coming. Damn. So yeah, as always at this most critical juncture, once the first crack starts showing, it's a landslide from there. LaBelle is calm and composed, but we'll get him. We'll get him in the end. Yeah, I really just genuinely did not see that twist coming. It had me fooled. I let my assumptions carry me too far. Damn. This is a great case. This game is off to a wonderful start. Damn. So good. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how this wraps up next time. In the meantime, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Dual Destinies. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.